we should be live. Let me finish setting this up. So today, as you can tell by the title, we're going to be looking at all of my robots. Let me finish setting up my tripod real quick. So I'm like redoing a bunch of my room and just like rearranging things. So I made this beautiful wall of robots. I also put artwork up on my TV, but I think I'm actually going to just click on this live stream. And so I can do it from there, because I should be able to like see the chat and things from here. How do I go to my channel? Your account, come on. Library, is that where it is? So, come on, it should show up. There we go. Going to turn off the volume on my TV. Not mute it, just turn it down. Wow, this is so weird. I'm just gonna leave this here for a second, so hopefully they both like sync up, because they won't be like at the exact same time, but that'd just be cool. Wow, okay, and just wait for that TV to go. Wow, this is gonna take like a couple minutes, but it's gonna be worth it. Let me make sure I'm like live. Okay. So I actually yesterday. Wow. Okay. Now we just have to wait for that TV, and then we'll be okay. Wow. This is good enough. This is so weird. Let me get a screenshot of this. Okay. Anyway, back to the robots. So we have all of my robots, with the exception of one. We'll talk about that. So I remember all the prices, as well as I'm going to look them up. For the ones I don't, let me actually install a calculator app, because for some reason Apple still does not have a calculator app on iPad, and I am live streaming from my phone. So it's not often that I need, wow, this is crooked, a calculator on my phone or on my iPad, but when I do, it's annoying. So this looks literally just like the Apple calculator, so that works. So I might move this closer in a second, and we will just look at all of the robots. Okay, so we have a calculator here. So I will be, wow, it has ads. That's just, Apple, just give them, like, just make your own calculator, seriously. This looks so weird, but you know what, this will work. So I'm going to be adding up the prices of the robots as we go. So real quick, I have my organized shelf so far. I want a big, this used to be in my closet. I used to have a dresser here, as you can probably tell from my last video. But I've wanted to move this out here. It's just I figured, you know, it's so much room, or so much work, because I have to take everything off and then put it back on, that I would just wait and I would get a bigger one. But I just kind of wanted to do it. I was bored, so I did it. I have a huge pile of stuff I still have to like put back on the shelf, because this was just full of random stuff, not really organized, because this was in my closet, not on display. And I actually made a mark. This is the same distance from the light switch. My hair is crazy, I know. So that way I can get a bigger shelf or a bookcase, and I'll probably ask for that for Christmas or something. So yeah. So this shelf is robots. This shelf is robot accessories, and that's where the organized shelves end. And not all of the robot accessories are on here, as I'm still like finding them and grabbing them from random places. So yay. So I might as well just start, because I don't know if, I think I already said this, but I filmed this whole video yesterday. And I was like, you know, this is a good video idea. I just don't feel like editing this 35-minute long video of me just talking and pointing at things. That does not sound like fun. So I just figured I'll make this a live stream, and I didn't have enough time to edit it from when I filmed it anyway. So we will start from my oldest to newest robots, and I'll tell you the story, behind each robot and the price and everything. So let's get going, as well as the MSRP of them and actually how much I paid for them. So I will, I guess, move this closer. I actually don't have that much time to do this because it's 4:08 my time zone, and I have to actually like wrap up soon. Like I can't live stream for an hour. I only have like 45 minutes, which I should be able to do this in that time. So let's just start here with my first robot. Let me actually flip this camera around on the tripod. Is this in the way at all? Yes, this is. Maybe, is this still, yeah, this is still in the way, okay. It's like this weird, like I said, I'm using my phone to live stream this. It's like this really weird clip solution. So this is actually like a microphone stand. So you put a microphone in here. And as you can see, it's just like a weird three-legged stand. So I have to put it, I can't put it this way or else this will be in the way. So I have to flip it around like this, but now the screen's covered. Also, this TV is a bit delayed, but really not that bad, like compared to a normal live stream. Sorry about that. What the heck? There we go. So let's start with my first robot, which is Chip. I don't think I'm going to like take everyone off the shelf because they're all kind of like intertwined. Are you a robot? Yes, I am. I am Mark Zuckerberg. That's the one robot that I'm currently bidding on that I don't have is Mark Zuckerberg. Yes, I will keep him on the shelf. Yep, Mark Zuckerberg, that's my favorite robot. And to answer your question, yes, I am a robot. So let me know if you want like a more in-depth video on any of these robots. So let's first start with my first one. This was September, so probably just like a week or two of 2017. So just probably a week or two. Chip I've had for 5 years. I think he came out in mid 2016. And he's a robot dog. I don't want to like take him out, but okay, I'll take Chip out, but I'm not gonna take like my other robots out, really, or not all of them. So right now he's just in the sitting position, but he does different things, and he comes with. He's a pretty high-tech robot. He was $160. Yes, Horseface Guy, you can be a robot, and you can be a robot that's, if you want, you can also join Mark Zuckerberg on the shelf. I'm trying to see if I can view the live chat on YouTube. I can't, okay. Also, of course, because this is just my luck, a marching band just started playing, so there's that. Anyway, so Chip, I bought him, I think, second to last thing I ever bought from Toys R Us for $160, which was his price. So on this calculator, let's add 160. So I bought him brand new, and he comes with actually like a decent amount of like stuff, and he has a lot of things you can do with him. So he comes with this, which is a little watch. It charges with micro USB. He has his own charger. We'll talk about that in a second. Can I tap to focus? I don't think I can on here. Can we just get it to focus? No, focus. Focus. Whatever. Fine. So how this works is it has all these different buttons are programmable, and there's a lot of stuff you can do with it. But the coolest part about it is it has these black sensors. If I'm a robot, then I'm gonna sneak into the house at night and sit on the shelf. Yay, we have a horse-faced guy on the shelf. No elf on the shelf, just a horse-faced guy. So this has all these black dots around it. Again, it's not focusing very well. So these are IR markers and infrared. And Chip, on his whiskers, he has them as well as on the back of his head and on his eyes too. So he can tell where you are with this band. So he can like follow you, or you could say, hey, Chip, come to me. His voice commands don't work that well, but like, you know, $160 toy, it works well. Comes with that. He also came with a ball. I have no idea where it went. Somewhere around my house. And it has the same IR markers all over it. And Chip has a magnet in his chest, so you would roll the ball, and he would go and get it and bring it back to you. which is cool. He also came with 2 chargers. So he comes with this charging cord. This is just a normal one, and you plug this. There's a little port on the bottom of him. As well as he came with this base, which you just plug this cord into the back of. And it uses the exact same technology as a Roomba for finding it with the IR. So the IR has a lot of uses. And then he would go and sit on it and charge. It does not work, like, at all. And he doesn't do it by himself. You have to ask him to. And if his battery's getting low, his battery dies and he turns off. So you have to then go take him and manually plug him in. Versus like Vector, which we'll talk about in a second, goes and charges by himself. So that's Chip. I'm trying to remember the order exactly. Might be off a little bit. I'm pretty sure. Next, I got Coder Mip. Wow, I've already been live streaming for 10 minutes and I'm only on one, just starting the second robot. So this is Coder Mip. Well, I should still talk about Chip for a second. So what got me interested in Chip and robots in general is I've always been interested in robots. Around this time, I think I was doing like some coding and robotics classes at my local library. And I went to one of my sister's soccer practices, and one of the girls there, I don't know, I think her brother was practicing soccer for a different team. But she had a MIP, which is what this is. This is a bit different. We'll talk about Coder MIP in a second. I was like, wow, that's so cool. She was like, yeah, I have all these different robots. So when I got home, I looked up MIP and robots. And the company that makes Chip, the name's Wowie, and it's the same company that makes a lot of these robots, including MIP. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I found out they have a robot dog. So I was like, oh, Chip, I want Chip. Chip's so cool because it's, a whole dog. And it does a lot more than MIP. So I got Chip. I saved up some of my money, bought Chip. And yeah, and that kind of started my robotic addiction. And then you've met a girl before? I know. It's surprising. Yeah, believe it or not. How's that? So this is Coder MIP, which is a lot like a normal MIP. So it just has a kickstand. Wow. Okay, let me back the camera up. So also ignore the car's light switch. I had it since I was a little kid. I never bothered to change it. I should probably change it, but I don't care. So now we have Coder MIP. So the only difference between him and the normal MIP is he comes with a lot more accessories that you would have to buy separately normally, which we'll talk about those in a second. And he also doesn't have any battery, but he has a rechargeable battery versus a normal MIP. You buy this separately, but you would have to put batteries in. So he's a self-balancing robot. So how he works is he stands up, and if he detects that he's starting to lean one way, he'll spin the wheels in the opposite direction so that he'll balance himself. MIP stands for something, I forget, something with the self-balancing robot. So and then there are like a lot of games that you can do with it, and his accessories, the normal MIP also comes with this accessory, but it's this little tray that you put on his chest, and his chest also lights up. He has lights and stuff. And he can, not could, hold a bunch of things. And with the coding, he also had a game where like you would try and stack as much as you could without him falling over. And with the coding, you could do like, so the only difference between him and a normal MIP is he's also clear, which is cool, but he has a second app that's for programming him versus he still works with the main MIP app. And with the IR, you can like do different gesture things, and he can communicate with regular MIPs. So anyway, with the like the coding thing is you would put like something here, and if it was like above this amount of weight, he would then do this action or something. It's really cool. So he came with the tray, and the normal MIP came with that, and he also came with these, which are all-terrain tires. I don't like them very much. I feel like I'm gonna break his wheels, but they go over top of his red wheels, and now now he can, like, I guess you take him outside, go over little bumps. Although if he falls, this plastic's gonna break. Ask me how I know. There's a little like triangle that's cracked here, just like a little part of it's cracked, and the piece I'm surprised it hasn't fallen out yet. I think it would fall out if I don't keep like pushing it back in. And there's also, I just noticed there's like some glue residue from tape because I was doing stuff with him. So anyway, they also say like you can put these on and then like program him to drive through paint or something. I think that's a horrible idea for them to advertise because he does fall over sometimes, and when he falls over, that's going to get him all covered in paint, which are going to make people mad. But their thing is that those tires are washable. And the next thing is this balance board, which I'm pretty sure only came with coder nip, but I'm not entirely sure. And how this works is, if you look, it's just a board with the little fulcrum. So so it's like this, and you drive up, and then he'll go off that side. So you have to try and drive him back and forth and try and get him to balance on it, as well as I guess he could do it automatically. And then, like I said, he has a little kickstand, which you can just put in to stand him up on a shelf like I do. So that was, September 2017, I think probably April 2018. Like some late winter, spring area, somewhere in there. That was 2018, then what? Then, I think this was summer of 2018. Well, it's possible it was 2019. But I'm just going to go to this robot next. This is Wally. I got him at a local garage sale. I don't remember how much. Probably $3. Also, let me add 60 plus, I'm just going to say, whoa, no, hold on. 160 plus 60 plus, oh yeah, that was right. I don't know. Plus, I'm just going to say 5. So $225 is where we're at right now, including Wally. So I don't know where his remote is. It's somewhere around here. But Wally, this guy, I don't remember when he came out. I think it was like mid 2010s. Hold on. So like a copyright on the bottom. No. I don't know. And I'm not entirely sure the company that made him. I think it's just like, it was a certain company, but I don't remember who. And I don't know where his remote is. It's a very oddly shaped remote. And mine, it's cool. He does like things where he can like, he plays audio clips from the movie. You can just drive him around. And there's like a little programming thing where you can like tell him to drive and then like turn right and then drive some more. Like very basic programming, but you know, fun little thing. Plus it's Wally, so it looks like Wally from the movie. And I think they had 2 versions. They have the clean and the dirty version. I have the dirty version, which has some like fake rust on his arm and just like dirt. So honestly, I kind of like that version better. Because I think that looks more like Wally from the movie. And again, his remote's somewhere around here. But my Wally's having a problem where when you try and drive him straight, he kind of turns a little bit. Let's see if there are any new chat messages. Yeah, by all terrain they mean carpet. Yeah, pretty much. And also make math. Yes, I will try to make math. And apparently, I think he was like brand new. I don't know why I put $3 in here because we're doing like the brand new price of everything. So it was $220. He was, I think, like $40 brand new. So we're at $260. And yeah, good little guy. And he's going for like $160 on eBay for some reason. Like the prices for these Wallies have just spiked for like no reason. I just looked him up and he was like $160. So I was like, okay. So then for Christmas of 2018, this is as high as this goes. Great. I'm just going to move Wally so you can see him. We have Robo Sapien, which is this guy. This was Wowie, the company that makes Chip, this guy, the Untamed, Mip, and Roboraptor, plus a lot more robots. This was their first robot. He came out in 2004 for like holiday season for $90. And I passed by him a few times at Goodwill because this was like, I just got into my Goodwill phase and I was like, wow, there's so many like good deals you can get here. And I just go there just to look at the electronics. And I actually went there and I passed by him a few times because I didn't see him at first. And then I finally saw him. We were about to leave. I was like, I really want him. And Mom was like, you know, I'll just get him for you for Christmas. So she did. And then a little while later, like a few weeks, I got him for Christmas. And he was $3. But he didn't come with a remote. So my mom had to order one from eBay for like $15. Which is a bit steep just for the remote, but yeah, it is what it is. And he works. I don't know why. Here, let me turn him back on so he can get back into his default position. Oh. Okay, I'm going to turn him off now because he's assaulting other robots. So, what's cool is they also re-released him in, I think, like 2010, like that time frame, like around 2010, that there's a little piece that plugs into your phone, and you can actually control him from your phone. But how you control him normally is with this remote. So this remote looks very complicated. So there are 3 actions per button, and there are a lot of buttons. So each button does its own thing, and that's what's pictured on it. So for example, like this button would just make him drive forward, drive backward. This would stop. So if he's walk, or not drive, walk. And then these are all the controls for his arms. There's like a lot of things to do. And then you push the select button, and this LED turns green. And now, above every button, or below, there's a green action. So now when you push that button, it will perform the green action. But then if you push it, it goes green, and push it again, now it's orange. It looks red on the video, but it's orange. And now that does or it does the orange actions. So there's so many actions you can do with him, and it also has a programming thing. It's just like a remember sequence. So you push the button, and then you do the different actions you want, and then when you hit play, he'll do that, which is cool. And he also came with a little cup. Mine didn't, but like the original one. And they made a lot of versions of him. They had a Spider-Man one. They had a Homer Simpson. They had a lot, which are cool. Which is cool. But he had like a little, almost like a sauce cup you'd get from a restaurant, and he could pick it up and then he could throw it. And he also has this little thing that it's like a little visor, which I always forget about because it's like, I don't know why they included it, but they did. So that was Christmas of 2018, so December 2018. Now let's move over to Robo Raptor. I got him from Goodwill in I think January or February of 2018. He came out in 2005, so a year later. He's by far the biggest robot I have. I'm not going to take him off the shelf because of that fact, but he goes all the way from here, all the way there. He's, I think, like 2.5 feet or something, which doesn't sound like that big, but it is big, especially for a robot. He was also featured on Austin Evans. That was actually after I bought him. So he has a lot you can do. He has a ton of buttons on him. Oh, and Robo Sapien also has buttons on him. So on his feet, he has one on the front and back of his shoes, and on his hand, or on his hand. So what that is if you have him walk, when he hits a wall and the button pushes, like an old Roomba, he stops so that he doesn't keep going and damage the wall or himself. So I got Roboraptor for $12. It came with him and his remote from that Goodwill. Put him in like a really weird spot, like above the DVDs on a really high up shelf. It was weird. So his remote does not have as many buttons as this button here. But so this is to control and make him move. These are to control his buttons. And then you push this button, and then it does the second layer, which I'm not exactly sure what that does. But the interaction for this robot was a lot on the robot itself. So he has a lot of different buttons. He has one on the bottom of his chin, so you can give him like a rub. Oh, and mine has a pretty common problem I saw with these, which is their necks start to like turn for some reason. Like all these links are loose, and for some reason they go bad. Is the chipmunk going to shoot? Oh, it does look like the chipmunk's going to shoot someone. Oh no. We'll talk about the chipmunk in this towards the end, actually. So I just try and position him, but when he turns on, his neck kind of moves. So he has, these are lights, but he has that button on the bottom, which is also kind of like a touch sensor almost, of his chin. Then in his mouth, he has a button on the roof of his mouth, so you stick your finger in his mouth, and he can eat your finger, I guess. Also, this black piece up top is the infrared, so that's where the remote control communicates to him. So there's this LED, and there's that. Hey, someone new to the chat. Yes. So he also has a button. Oh, and RoboSapien just has a button on like his shoulder to turn him on. But of course they had to put his button right here. I'm gonna turn him off because again he's going to break something. Sorry, I just heard a weird noise. And then he also, so like this robot I guess technically does less than RoboSapien, but has more like interaction. It's more of like a pet robot, I guess. So he also has these buttons on the side of his tail, as well as these, yeah, just these two buttons on the back of his tail. Plus here, he has like a little microphone almost. Oh, and RoboSapien does too here. And it's like if you make a loud noise, he'll go like, roar, you know, a little roar. So yeah, he doesn't do as much as RoboSapien, even though he was like $30 or $40 more. Brand new. Dang it. But still like cool, and he's so much bigger. So now let's add 40. So we're at $390, and this is brand new. Back to buy them brand new when they came out. So then this was I think like January of 2019. So then I think actually before Roboraptor. Let me think. Yeah, okay. So I got Cosmo. I was like really into Cosmo. I was like, oh, I really want Cosmo. I was watching videos about him every day for like the whole month of May and June. And I was like, you know, I don't want to spend. Hold on. Dang it, Touch ID, come on. Like, I tried to show you on video, don't work. I don't want to spend $200 on a new robot, and the company that made Cosmo, which is Anki, had just gone out of business like a month before, not even. So the stock I knew was going to be limited, so I was just like, you know, I don't want to buy one brand new though. So I bought him used from eBay. It came with Cosmo and Cosmo's box, which is here. And yeah, so it came with Cosmo and Cosmo's box. Of course, the cubes and his charger. So the first Cosmo I bought, it was like $50. I was like, wow, this is such a great deal. But turns out that was a scam. eBay refunded our money, luckily. And then there was one I bought, I think it was like $80 or $90. And I was like, wow, this is, again, so cool. I got him for $80, $90. Didn't turn on. So I was like, hey, this one didn't turn on. I looked it up. Turns out it was a problem with the battery in the Cosmos that, like, basically once they are dead and have been dead for like a month, they basically no longer work ever again. So I contacted the seller and they're like, oh, sorry about that. Here, they sent us, or we returned this one. They sent us the second one. Same problem. I think we tried a third one. Same problem. Or we bought it from a different person. I don't know. And then we bought a fourth one. And finally, I got one that worked. Asterisk. Worked. Sorry. Everything worked fine. Aside from the speaker wasn't working. I think it probably, like, just burned out or something. And so we contacted the seller. We're like, hey, we got one that worked. And they're like, but it doesn't have a speaker. So they sent us the second one, and that one worked, which is this one, worked really well. Or like everything worked fine with him. So I also Well, my mom actually. I bought a screen protector for him, but it didn't end up working. Um, so then my mom bought me these carbon fiber decals for his back, hubcaps, I guess, and then his front. I'm thinking of maybe taking them off just so I have like the normal Cosmo look, just because I kind of like that with the white and the champagne color. But yeah, so she bought me those carbon fiber decals, which do look really cool. So then we moved to December of. Let me put all back up. December of 2019 for Christmas. So for that, we have to come over here, and I'm not gonna say my favorite, but the robot I use the most, Vector. So I currently have him turned off, so he's not making a lot of noise while we're doing this video. He's a lot like Cosmo, but he connects to the Wi-Fi instead of Cosmo has to run completely off your phone. Sorry, let's make sure. There we go. So, and he also has a microphone for voice commands. He's a lot different from Cosmo, but I just end up using him a lot more because Cosmo always has to be connected to your phone versus Vector connects to Wi-Fi. And he has like Alexa commands, but he's so much better than an Alexa. And if you want, you can even add actual Amazon's Alexa to him, so you can use those commands. I'm just gonna put him back here. I was like, wow, this is really cool. So I got him for Christmas, and again, Anki, my other business, Digital Dream Labs was actually talking about buying him in December of 2019, and they luckily bought him and kept him running. I had to pay another $50 because I backed their Kickstarter. Otherwise, it's $100 to keep him running. So yeah, so his original price was $250, but my parents actually got him. Amazon was having the sales like literally every day the price would change. And I think the price got as low as $80 for this $250 robot. Now Cosmo and Vector, Cosmo brand new was $200, Vector $250. They both are now selling for like $500 on eBay because version 2 just came out, which isn't that much different. But people, I guess, really want the original Cosmo and Vectors, which I have. And there's, like I said, selling for like $450 to $500, which is just crazy to me. I kind of wish when they were $80, I bought 5 or 6 actually. So I invested $500 into them, and I would have made like $3,000. But you know, hindsight's 2020, and that was 2019. So I don't know why I did that. So then, moving over here, we have later December, I think December 26th. That was 25th. This is the 26th. I got these. So the blue one's mine. The purple one's my sister's. These are called Novi. I don't know if you've heard of Boxer. They're a lot like Boxer. They're both made by Spin Master. These are a bit smaller and they don't do as much. But my sister and I got we got them from our cousin. And when you turn them on, so he has a button on the top that you push to change the mode. And the different modes are different colors. And each mode does a different thing. Like they have different hand commands you can do. And they also can follow your hands back and forth. And when they see each other, they go crazy. It's cool. So my sister just gave me hers, and I just put them on the shelf. And I looked it up. I think it's $30 for one, so $60 for both of those. So now we're at $900 of robots so far, and we're not done yet. So now, probably have to end this pretty soon. So I want to talk faster. So then in January of 2020, I'm pretty sure it was January 2020. It was January, maybe 2019. I don't quite remember. Streamception. But this is Untamed. I got him when I went out with my grandma for my birthday. Grandmother. Grandmother. I don't know. I don't know which one I say. I really don't use either. I think grandmother. Grandma just sounds weird for some reason right now. Anyway, so if you know what a fingerling is, this is basically the same. It's just it's a dinosaur version. And you put it on your finger, and when you turn it on, it just like moves and it makes noises. This is infrared. What's cool about him is his eyes and teeth glow in the dark. And he was $30, so I'll add that in. So now we're at $930. And he has this little cage. I like to say grandma. I know. Wait, why did I say no? I meant like, never mind. This is weird. I meant like, it's a fun thing to say. Anyway, I think a normal one's $15, but he was $30, and he also comes with this cage, which I can't fit in. So what you do is on the front of this, you open this, and you put one here, and you can put the other one here. You really couldn't say anything. Then there's this lever in the back, and when you turn it, it lifts the platform up that one of them is sitting on, which will break, just push the plastic apart, this out here, and he'll go kind of flying. So, oh my god, what was that? Why is this in here? There was a micro SD card in here. This seems very, like, horror movie-ish. It's an 8 gigabyte Toshiba, I don't know if it's good to focus, but 8 gigabyte Toshiba micro SD card. I probably remember putting it, I remember putting a SD card in there, but I don't remember what's on it. That's going to be fun to go on. So now, in January of 2020, I'm not going to move him very quickly because I do not want to turn him on. This is Snowball. My friends, this was their personal Furby, and they gave me him for my birthday. He works. He's a 1998 original Furby named Snowball. Everything works. He's missing some eyelashes, or his eyelashes. It's a little bit run down, but you know, it's a 1998 Furby that was used in 1998. So, you know, and it works well, and I really like him. But they actually bought me one for my birthday from eBay, but the speaker on it was broken, so they returned it, and they just gave me theirs, which is, you know, cool. Oh no, a Furby. I know. And then, so that brand new was $100. Now we're at $1,030 on robots. And then I bought this in July, or June. Well, I bought it in May, technically, and then it came June 1st of 2020. And I actually bought rechargeable batteries for it because it was like only lasting about 2 hours, and then you'd have to replace the batteries. It's so much softer than that Furby. Probably just brand new. Because I bought this brand new from Amazon, which I have the box for it. And this is most likely the last Furby. Oh, and I just saw another chat message. Oh no, another Furby. I know. I think I actually bought him for $60, not the $130 he was normally, like his MSRP. So on the bottom, I just put a label that his name is Abe. So like when you connect him to the app, yes, there's an app for a Furby. When you connect him to the app, it gives you the option to name him. So I named, and like you have to name him in Furbish, and then you see what it is. So I named him Abe, which translates to Happy Snuggler. Yes, there's Furbish. It's a Furby language, and I have it written in my phone, in my notes app. I actually have the whole official Furbish dictionary. So he's very soft. He has like touch sensors on the front and sides. And you can still feed him like the other one, which you open his mouth and you can push the button, and he opens it by himself too. And then his eyes are screens. Oh, oops, hopefully I didn't break anything. And this also lights up here. And he also comes with a sleep mask that other Furby, if you wanted it to go to sleep, you would have to literally put a blanket over its head because it has a light and motion sensor. But this has this little thing that ends up pushing back when you put the sleep mask on, and there are little contacts in there, and it puts him to sleep instantly, which is nice. I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to put them. For now, just down there. So then I kind of had a break. So that was June of 2018, or no, sorry, May of June. I'll just say technically June, because that I got him the first day of June. And there's a video on him. There's a video on a lot of these robots, or a lot of them end up in videos. I also, with Chip, made a 1.5 hour long video about him that I ended up just deleting. Kind of wish I uploaded it because I really didn't have that much content, or frankly, that would have been like one of my first videos. Which subscribe because coming up soon, in like 2 months, I'm going to be reacting to my very first video, because my very first video turns 5 years old, which is legitimately terrifying. Anyway, ow, and I've not watched it like for the past year because I've been waiting to like see my raw reaction on camera, which I'm kind of terrified about. So that was June. I keep saying July, but June 1st of. Wait. Maybe it was July. Yeah, it was July 1st of 2020. And then just last month, like almost exactly a month ago, I got Dash and Dot from Goodwill. So, there's an auction. Goodwill has something called Shop Goodwill, which is a website which they send all their like really expensive stuff to, or stuff that could be worth a lot of money. And then they take pictures of it, post it, and auction it off. So I bought this. It's the whole Wonder Pack. The box doesn't even fit in camera. It's huge. And it comes with Dash, which I actually programmed with a lot at my library. And there's a lot of programming you can do with him. He's this really cool like bubble, and I just love the way he looks. He originally even came out in 2014, and they're still making him. But I really love like the way he looks. And like he has his head that moves all the way around, and there's so many accessories. We'll talk about those in a second. I really need to get going though. But yeah, a great robot. So many programmable things, and he has so many like sensors and stuff. Really cool. So I bought him for $35, and I also have to add that Furbian, which was $130, and I bought him for $35, but brand new. This pack was $300 because it came with literally every single accessory except for like one that they sell. So it came with Dash, which normally, aside from in the Wonder Pack, is $170. Dot, which is a whole other robot that interacts with Dash, as well as you can do your own things with it, because as a stand, and then you can remove it from the stand. It's a ball, so you can do like a lot of programming things with him. He can't, or I guess it's technically a her. She can't like move. She doesn't have any moving parts, but she has a lot of lights and those same motion sensors. So with that pack, it came with all of these accessories. So it came with every accessory pretty much that they made. So that was $300 for that pack, brand new. Wonder Pack is what it's called. But if you were to buy everything separately, it was like over $500, which is just crazy. So it came with them. It came with a xylophone, which clips onto Dash, and then he can drive around with it. Even he has a wheel, or it has a wheel on the bottom, and then he has a mallet that he hits. So he has pre-made songs, as well as you can program him to play your own songs. He has a ton of accessories. He has a bulldozer, so if there is anything in front of him, you can push it away. He has rabbit ears and a rabbit tail. I love the way they engineer these things. Sorry about that. Because here, let's just look at the side here with Dash. So the ears go on the side, and then the tail also goes on the side, so it's on the back, as well as if you want, you could put it up, I guess. And then with Dot, you can also put the ears on. I'll just put one on because I'm holding him in the other. And then here's the base. But if you remove this, you can't put the tail on because you'd have to put it on the side. But if you put it on the side, there's no longer a place for the other ear, and there isn't a part on the back. And even if there was, it would look weird. So they had that stand where this can go on. And the way this piece is made, it also doubles as a stand for Dot. It's so ingenious. And again, there's another ear that's here. It's so ingenious the way they made this. And both Dash and Dot charge with micro USB. Let's see. next stream house tour? I could. I don't know if I will, but that's an interesting idea. Thank you for the ideas. And yes, he is joining the marching band. Let's see. So he also has this ball launcher, which goes on his back. And then there's a piece that he can, so if he moves his head, it shoots the ball. The only piece this whole set was missing was the yellow ball. It comes with the green and a pink and then a yellow ball. So I just grabbed a ping pong ball from our ping pong table. And then he has a piece that if he turns his head, it knocks one of these into it, and then he can shoot that ball. It's really cool the way it works. And then they also came with this random tow hitch piece. So this has a ton of different uses. For example, this little hook. So if you want, you could build it with like string. So Dot could hang from the door if you wanted to. Like it has a door sensor thing you could program. Also comes with these little pieces which clip together. Oh God. For target practice, to dash with his ball launcher. And then also, this is probably one of the coolest parts. I have 4 of these, so I'm just holding 2, but there are 2 more. And these go anywhere on Dash and Dot that clip in, which there are a ton of these places. And these are for Legos. So you can put Legos up there, ball joints, as well as these little side pieces. So you can do so much, like literally unlimited things with these. So I'm pretty sure that's all for like Dash and Dot. I also forgot to show this. But here's, Legos. You can add your own Legos to it. It's really cool. Somebody even made a Lego holder that goes on the side of Dash that holds Dot. I forgot to show you. I wanted to show you my Cosmo and Vector cases. So Vector, this is a third-party one. It's Pyolule. I don't know how it's pronounced, but you just open this up. There's a place for Vector, his cube, and charger. And then this is an official, because Anki never made an official one for Vector. And then this was an official one for Cosmo. I think this was $60. Since this is not technically a robot, I'm not going to add it to the price. Should I? I don't know. But it says Cosmo there, and then this says Cosmo 2, and it says Anki on the handle. When you open it, it has room for Cosmo, his cubes, his charging, or his charger. It didn't come with an official thing. You could buy it separate, a brick. You could buy it separately, but I didn't. So I just used this LG one I have. I think that's from like an old like smartwatch thing I had. I'm gonna open this here, and then there's also a zipper that I guess you could put his chart. You're supposed to put his manuals in. I just left them in the box, and in here I have his jelly bean, which is from a really old Cosmo video that's on my channel. My throat is sore, which is annoying, but you know, life of a YouTuber, I guess. So now you may be thinking, well, there's this whole section here for robots. So yeah, so let's just try and again quickly go through this because I have to like get ready in a little bit, so I really have to go. I'm also going to show you behind Roboraptor. This was here. This is a Cincinnati Millicron robotic arm. It's not an actual like robot, or it's not actually robotic like with motors, but it's just like a model. But it has a ton of these moving parts, and what this is one of those like manufacturing robot arms that goes and picks up a piece and it will just like do that. Why I have this is because my grandpa helped design those, and that's from like the 60s. Yeah, it's a piece of history. So yeah, that's why I have it on my shelf. I got it from my grandpa's house. So yeah, it's very special and it's really cool. It's also, I think, from what the 60s or 70s, I don't know. It's really old. And then we also have this real quick, which this is just a robot ball that you charge. It has a little screen that shows you the time. The batteries, oh, there we go. You can't see it, but it shows you the time. You have a deep hatred for VTubing? What do you mean? So, and what it does is, as it's doing here, is it just rolls. And what you're supposed to do is it comes with this little, I just kept that part of it. My grandpa had a ton of these. So it's just like this little plastic thing that goes in, and it has a little mop attachment that it rolls around. It's like the first Roomba. It would not clean anything. I don't know why they even made it, but Death Star cleans. Yeah. um, but yeah, I just put it there just because it's technically a robot. And then here we have the rest of my robots. So this was my sister and my friend, but mostly my sister's friend, that we really haven't talked with in years. But like little robot toy, and it would just like drive around, and then when its nose hit something, it would then stop, turn around, and then keep driving, kind of like a little Roomba. It would make little noises. And this was like her favorite thing that she had because it's from 2008, which is when she was born. Um, and she gave it to my sister because it was like so special to her. So my sister was just like, if you want, you could just like put this on your robot shelf. So I did. This was also from my grandpa's, and it has a little switch. Luckily, the batteries are dead because this thing's annoying, like the sound it makes and how fast it moves. But its mouth moves and it like runs and makes little noises, little cat noises. Then we have, and I got this probably 2018. There's another chat messages. Where are you going and what are you? Where are you doing and what are you going? I'm not going to tell you that. If you want, I'll text you. But like, I don't want to say that on live YouTube. And then this, I got from like it's probably 7 or 8 years ago. Probably more. Wait, more than that. Maybe I don't know. But it's when you push its back, it makes chipmunk noises. I think the battery's dead, and it like moves, and it has a little food bowl. It goes and gets food from, or it's just like a little plastic food bowl that I have to try and find. But yeah, I'll put that down here for now. And then this is called RoboTrack. So what this is it's just like a little tank that drives around. It's made by air hogs and it drives very fast. It's rechargeable with micro USB. And it can also shoot missiles. I got this from my other cousin for Christmas. His brother actually. And then you push the button on him, or there's a button on his remote, and he transforms up like this, and then he basically becomes a lot bigger MIP. So like here's MIP, here's him, and it has the same self-balancing thing. Like with him driving, he stays upright. So, and he folds automatically. It's really cool. So here's what he looks like, and then you just push the button, and he folds up. Really cool. So I really have to get going, but thank you guys so much for watching. Let me check on the calculator. See the price of everything. And that was $60. So the total for the robots is 1,520. I think it was actually closer to 1,600. I don't know like what I missed. So yeah, really lots of money. But I already added this up yesterday. I ended up paying, because of buying things used and gifts, I spent $450 though on these robots, which is a lot. So I have to go. So this live stream kind of ends abruptly. But thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe. Let me know in the comments if you want more robot videos, just other video suggestions. And I will see you guys next time. The live stream should end soon. Thank you and bye. How do I end this? Hold on. Bye.